Welcome, my name is Angela Petrilli, here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. I am so glad to be back. I've been out of town the last 2 weeks. I played in Nashville with my band and we had the best time. And those of you who came to the shows, it was so good seeing you guys. So much fun, so much fun. So we are live today. Again, just so happy to be here. This is a tune that I thought would be absolutely so fun to learn today. We're gonna learn Give a Little Bit by Supertramp. Such an awesome, awesome song. Now, we're gonna be in standard tuning here. I am playing this on a 6-string acoustic because I know most of us have a 6-string acoustic. Not everyone has a 12-string. However, if you have a 12-string, please grab it and use it for this lesson today because it just so envelops the beautiful, positive vibe of this tune. It is such a fun song to play. So get your 12-string if you have one. I will give you 20 minutes to tune it. But if you don't, a 6-string is going to be great. All right, so before we get started, you know I like to ask a question. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Let me know where you are tuning in from and your dream acoustic guitar. If you were to have a dream acoustic guitar, I want to know what it is. So let me know where you're tuning in from and your dream acoustic guitar. Okay, I am plugged in. The Fishman RS Spectrum DI is on. Shout out to my friends at Fishman who help me with these lessons week after week. And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, so here we go. Here is Give a Little Bit by Supertramp. So we're gonna go over all the really awesome parts. I just did the first half. We're definitely gonna go through the whole thing today. So let me know how everybody's doing here throughout the hour. Again, this is a live Q&A, so if you guys have questions about the gear and the guitar I'm using and all of the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, be sure to put them in the comments and I will get to those questions as soon as I can. So be sure to put them in the comments. Don't be shy. Everyone's really cool here. Everyone's really nice. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. At the very top here, so as you notice, the chords are very beginner friendly. Okay, once we start getting towards the sax solo, we're gonna be seeing some bar chords in there, and then we're gonna have, obviously, the iconic section, which is just so cool. But as you've noticed, right, the shape stays the same. We're just moving that shape up and down the fretboard. So be sure to stick around through the entire hour so I can show you how to play this. So let's go ahead and look at the top. So the intro, I'm gonna play a little bit slower than I did at the top, goes like this. Just like that. Pretty simple here. We've got 3 chords. Let's go ahead and talk about them. So we're going to have an A7. Okay, that's how we're going to start off the tune. So I like to play an A7 with my 2nd and third finger. So I'm going to get my second finger placing that on the second fret of the D string as your E note, and then I'm going to get my third finger placing that on the second fret of the B string, which is a C sharp. Now, when we're thinking about the notes that are in an A7 chord, we have A, which is our 1, C sharp, which is our 3, E, which is our 5, and then G, which is flat 7, okay? So what we're going to do here is go ahead and play it, pluck every string from the A string downward. So just like that. That's how we want this chord to sound. Now, for me, when I am playing this, I actually like to start this with an upstroke and then do the downstroke there, okay? I know that may seem counterintuitive to some of you, but for me, it feels really, really natural to do it that way. And I was watching a ton of videos where they were playing this live, and again, just really, really awesome performances each time I watched it, all right? So we're gonna go upstroke, downstroke. Now, could you flip it if you wanted to, if that's more comfortable for you? Sure. But I like the upstroke first. Just like that. And we're going to let that ring. Pretty simple. From there, we're going to go to a D chord. All right? Most of us know it. But those of you who don't, okay, I'm going to show you how to play it. First 3 fingers like this. First finger, place that in the second fret of the G string. That's our A note. Second finger, second fret of the E string. That's an F sharp. Third finger, okay, get as close to that third fret as you can without touching it. Third fret of that B string. That's a D note. Strum from the D string downward. This is what it should sound like. And you're going to, again, do up, down. So we've got the A7 to D. That sounds like this. We're going to do that twice. Pretty simple. So when we put it together, let it ring. Pretty great. Now from there, we're going to go to a G major to an A7 2 times. That sounds like this. And again, I'm doing the upstroke, downstroke. So let's talk about that G chord for those of you who don't know how to play it. First finger, second fret of that A string, that's our B note. Second finger is going to reach up here to the third fret of the E string, that's our G note. I like to play my G chord this way, third finger, third fret of the B string, that's a D note, and then fourth finger here, third fret of the E string, which is another G. Okay, so we're gonna do here, same thing, upstroke, downstroke to A7, upstroke, downstroke, repeat this, okay? So we're gonna do that 2 times, so it'll sound like this. Okay, so just like that. Let's go ahead and do the first part of the intro into that second part. Let it ring. Again. Now G to A7 twice. And now leading into the verses, G to D, only 1 time. So when we put that all together, sounds like this. I'll play it a little faster. I think we got the hang of it. So here we go. 2, 3. There you go. Not too bad, right? So that is our intro, okay? Pretty cool. So now when we get into the verse, this is where the strumming is going to start getting a little more percussive, a little fuller, okay? So I'm going to play the verse here. It's going to be a lot of chords. Don't worry. I'm going to talk you through it. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause. You want to see all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, be sure to click the link in the video description too. I just started an online merch store because so many of you guys are asking about t-shirts. You can buy them there worldwide. I just put the link in the comments so you guys can check that out. Again, we ship worldwide, all right? So now I'm gonna go to the verse. I'm gonna play it again a little bit slower than I did at the top. So the verse sounds like this. F. Let's talk about it. So the first part of that verse is all of the chords that we saw in the intro. So the D major, the A7, the G, they're all there. So let's talk about the order in which they are. So we're going to start with a D chord. Then we go to an A7. We then go to a D chord, to G, to an A7, to G, A7, to G. It's going to be the first half of the verse, okay? And that section is repeated 2 times. So when we look at the strumming, I'm going to do this really slowly here, okay? So again, we have a D chord to an A7, upstroke, downstroke, okay? So let's do that again nice and slowly here from that D just to the A7. We're going to take this in chunks. D, A7, D. Now we're going to switch to a G chord. Now this is a trick that I like to use. Most of you who have been watching these know that I'm a big fan of pivot points whenever they present themselves on the fretboard between chords, okay? In this case, between D and G, I like to keep my 3rd finger where it is on the 3rd fret of the B string. Then I switch to the full 4th finger G chord. Say that 10 times fast. Okay, so we switch to that G. So I'm going to do this nice and slowly here. Okay, so D, A7, D to G. We're just going to do those 4 chords, okay? Play it nice and slowly. Again, follow along. Here we go. Ending on that upstroke for that G chord. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, from there we're going to go to an A7. Okay, starting with a downstroke there. Back to a G. Back to an A7, then back to a G. So I'm going to play this through multiple times here. I'm going to call out the chords at the top for the first couple passes, and then I'm going to do it without the commentary. All right, so here we go. And again, I'm going to play it nice and slow. Can't play anything fast, we can't play slow. So here we go. That D chord comes in, okay? So let's do that again. D major, A7, back to D, G, A7, G, A7, G, D. Now we're repeating. A7, back to D, G, A7, G, A7, G, to D, no commentary. Okay, so now we're going to do this in context with the intro. Again, I'm going to play both parts a little bit slower. Here we go, follow along. Here comes the verse. Verse. repeat. Now with a little speed for context. Here's the intro. Verse. So give a little bit, give a little bit of my life to you. Give a little bit, give a little bit of my life to you. So a little bit of the vocals for context, okay? So that's what's happening there in that part of the verse, okay? Just to give you context. Of course, it's played a little faster, so something I encourage you guys to do, watch a lot of the live versions. They're fantastic. Fantastic. Stuff from like 77, 79. I saw one from like 2010 that was great. Watch a lot of the live versions too, and again, I encourage you to listen to the song so you can get the vibe of it. The strumming is very percussive. So as I suggest with so much of this stuff when we're learning here, you can't play anything fast that you can't play slow. That's my favorite motto. You can't play anything fast you can't play slow. So I encourage you, take your time, kind of get the feel of the rhythm for that tune, and the speed will come, all right? So it's a great, great song. And what's great about this is the chords. They're pretty basic, you know, simple, friendly beginner chords. And it allows you, once you got the chords under your fingers, it can allow this right hand or left hand if you're a left-handed player, to really go ahead and really hone in on that rhythm, all right? So that's the first part of the verse. We have the second part that sounds like this. That leads into verse 2. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about that. Our first bar chord here, don't worry, B minor. It's fine, you can do it. My beginners, don't worry, we can do this. So, first finger, all right? Very important relationship when we're building our bar chords. First finger and thumb, okay? The thumb, I don't want to see it here. If you're seeing that thumb start to reach on top of the fret, or on top of the fretboard, your hand is not going to be able, and those fingers are not going to be able to stretch the way they want to, okay? So by placing that thumb ever so slightly in the middle of the neck, it's going to allow that hand and those fingers to really expand and create a really, really good foundation, okay? So by moving that thumb, I know it's where I see with a lot of my one-on-one students how the thumb can hinder them from playing that bar chord. Try to move that thumb to the back of the neck, okay? So just like that, right where the curve starts, right? The top of that curve, back of the neck, all right? So just like that. Now, we want to do here, first finger. Now, since it's a B minor, okay, our B note is right here at the second fret of the A string, so you're going to want to put that first finger across the bottom 5 strings. The low E string is not invited to the party today, okay? So just like that. Now, your second finger, placing that on the 3rd fret of the B string, that's our D note. You're going to get your 3rd finger here, placing that on the 4th fret, okay, of that D string. That's an F sharp. And then your pinky finger is going to go on the 4th fret of the G string, which is another B, okay? So the 3 notes, if you guys have been taking notes, B, D, and F sharp are going to be our 1 flat 3, 5 of the B minor, okay? So that chord should sound like this. And again, keep that thumb in the middle of the neck. Get that first finger as straight as you can, making sure your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger are nice and curved, like a bridge, okay? Like that, kind of see how my fingers are doing this. That's what we want there, okay? So that's our first one. Now, again, very percussive strumming that's happening in this song. That's what I was hearing when I was listening to many versions of the song, okay? So, what we're gonna do here, down, down, up. On the up down, okay, I'm releasing the chord ever so slightly. So I'm pressing on the downstroke, releasing the pressure of the chord on the up and down stroke, just to kind of give it a little bit of percussion. I'll show you what I mean. I'll play this slowly. Like that. That seems cool to me when I play this again, really in the spirit of that percussiveness of the song. So that's what we're going to do there. From there, we're going to go to an E sus4, one of my favorite chords, such a beautiful chord. Okay, I like to use my second, third, and fourth finger to play this chord. Okay, second finger, we're going to place that on the second fret of the A string. It's a B note. You're going to get your third finger, second fret of the D string, which is an E, and then you're going to get your fourth finger here, placing that on the second fret of the G string, which is an A. I want you to go ahead and strum everything. It's a good chord. Anyone who recognizes this chord from another classic rock song, put it in the comments, please. Okay, so again, a really, really pretty chord here. And we're only going to stay on it just a moment because we're going to resolve to that E major. Now, the reason why I like playing this E sus4 this way is when an E major comes around, which it does in the song, first finger is going to go right there, first fret of the G string, which is now a G sharp. Looks like everybody heard it. The Who, Preston, Mary Kay, you got it, Behind Blue Eyes. That was the tune. Good ears, everybody. Okay, so just like that. So we've got the E sus4 to E. Beautiful cadence. Okay, so we're gonna do here from the B minor to E sus4, down, 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 up, to E, down, 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 up. Okay, again, we're gonna do those three chords again, B minor, E sus4 to E. Here we go. And that's us playing it a little bit slower. Okay, let's do that again. We're going to do this for the next part of this tune. We're going to do this little walk up into a G chord. Now, it's optional. I think it adds a lot of really cool texture. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. It's optional. You don't have to. It sounds to me like it's kind of a bass part and like kind of a guitar part too in the versions I was listening to. All we're going to do here, first finger, we're not going to do anything. Okay, open, E string. First finger, placing that on the second fret of the E string. It's an F sharp. I'm going to do a little bit of a walk up here. We're going to set ourselves up for a beautiful G chord here. Check this out. Second finger now plays a third fret of the E string. And now we're ready to complete the chord. See how I did that? I'm going to do that again. From the B minor. Right into that G chord. Okay, so let's do that again. So down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up for that G chord. Okay, again from the B minor. From there, this is what I heard, okay? To the best of my ear, I'm pretty sure this is what he's doing, okay? So we're gonna do this. Which I think is a beautiful foreshadowing of the interlude walk-up that we see just later on in the saxophone solo, okay? So to the best of my ear, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get our first finger, third fret of the B string, D note. You're going to get your second finger, fourth fret of the D string. That's an F sharp. Now what we're going to do is strum from the A string. Isn't that beautiful? A string downward. All the open strings, I want to hear them. just like that. Okay. Now from there, we're going to go to an A7. Keep that second finger on the D string, and then bring that third finger down on the C sharp second fret of the B string. Okay, so this, down, 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 up, to the A7, down, 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 up. And we're going to do that again with that figure on the 3rd and 4th fret, and then bring that second finger up to the 5th fret of that D string, bringing your 3rd finger now on the 5th fret of the B string. Down, 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 up. Okay? So that whole thing will sound like this. Slowed down, of course. Okay, I'm going to do that again slowly. And with a little speed. So we're going to put all 3 of these parts together for the verse. We're going to do the verse part with the big chords before we get into that B minor. That gets repeated twice. Then we go into that B minor section with the E sus4 E with the walk up to the G chord, and then our beautiful A sus4 A7 thing that's happening there. All right. So David said, can you repeat the finger on the last chord, please? Yes, you got it, David. So we're going to get our 2nd finger, 5th fret of the D string, and then you're going to get your 3rd finger, 5th fret of the B string, B as in boy, strumming from the A string downward, all open strings. Thank you, David. All right, so here we go from the top of the verse. Repeat. To our B minor. And then right into verse 2. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Now, if you guys have questions, I will take a moment to take some of your questions here. Again, this is a live Q&A. Also, too, I released a new EP, gosh, 2 months ago. Flew by. It's called The Voices. I put a link if you want to stream it, you want to buy it as an indie musician. Would love it if you bought it. It's on Bandcamp and all that good stuff, and you could check out my online store on my website. I've got shirts and mugs and hats and sweaters and all that stuff, and we ship worldwide. So even if you're in Australia, we'll ship to you too. All right, so all that stuff is there. So if you guys have questions, would love to answer them. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including the Aura Spectrum DI, which is the silver box that I don't leave it at home when I'm doing an acoustic gig. I love that thing. So you can check it out in the link in the video description. Would so love it if you did. It's such an important part of my acoustic rig, and yeah, it's a great piece of equipment. So thanks, folks at Fishman. It's awesome. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do here. So where's the triple O? It needs to be set up. The action is a little bit high, especially for this song, Michael. So I didn't play the triple O today. I wanted something with a little bit more. That was a little friendlier going up the fretboard, which is why I'm using the SC13E Martin here. Great guitar, especially with the last chord of the song, which is all the way up here. Seemed like the perfect perfect guitar to use today for this song. So yeah, this is the Martin SC13E. Awesome, thanks Jeff. Glad you're digging the EP, so cool. All right, let's see. So Robert is asking, okay, let's go ahead and he's like, I want to go over that bridge one more time. You got it. So I'm going to go through it nice and slowly here from the B minor to that G chord. First finger, 3rd fret of that B string, 2nd finger, 4th fret of the D string. To our A7 shape, back to the 3rd fret of the B string, 4th fret of the D string, and then just move that shape up, 5th fret of the D and B string. Okay, so that's what's happening there. We're going to be seeing something like this again in the interlude walk-up in just a moment. So we're going to go ahead now and look at the saxophone solo part of the song. So here's what's happening here on the saxophone part, the saxophone solo part of the tune. Sounds like this. See it again? Okay, so that's that part, first part of that saxophone solo. All right, so as you notice here, very percussive strumming. We've got bar chords in here. Let's talk about them. So we've got an F sharp minor. We're going to place our first finger across all 6 strings at the 2nd fret. Again, F sharp, A, and C sharp are R1, flat 3/5 of this chord. Go ahead and place your 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the A string, pinky finger 4th fret of the D string. Everything else is going to be played on that 2nd fret. Okay, of the G, B, and high E string. Again, with chords like this, particularly chords that are minor with that root on the E string, if you need that 2nd finger to kind of press on top of that 1st finger to get nice clear tone and no fret buzz, feel free to do that. Sometimes I do. All right. Now with the strumming here, that's what I'm hearing on top of this. Again, each live version was a little bit different, but from what I could hear to the best of my ear. So when I'm doing that, I'm not pressing down on the chord, because if I press down on the chord, I don't want that. So I'm going down, down, up, pressing the chord. Then all I do is release pressure and do a little bit of like a palm, you know, a mute here on the fretboard. Okay, so. And then I go down pressing the chord again. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And again. From there, we're going to go to a B minor. So guess what? All we're doing is shifting a few of those fingers down a string. So we've got the F sharp minor. Now to our B minor. Move that 1st finger down, okay? 2nd fret of the A string, D string, G string, B string, and high E string, like that. Then what we're going to do, move that 3rd finger down, fret, 4th fret of now the D string, and then that 4th finger goes on the 4th fret of the G string, and now your 2nd finger, place that on the D note here in the 3rd fret, that B string. That's what you want it to sound like. Again, don't forget, I don't want to see the thumb here. Have it at the back of the neck so you can press through a lot better, okay? Help expand those fingers, that's what we want. And again, the strumming pattern, very similar here. Same exact strumming pattern, different chord. So here we go. We're gonna repeat that again. That's what's happening there, okay? This is the very beginning of that saxophone solo. Let's go ahead and do that pass one more time. like that, all right? From there, we're gonna go back to an F sharp minor for a measure. Then we're gonna go to G for a measure. Same strumming pattern without the little mutes, okay? Then we're gonna go to a C, okay? This is a very cool choice here with this tune, okay? First finger, first fret of that B string, that's your C note. Second finger, second fret of the D string, that's E. And then your third finger placing that on C. Third fret of the A string, strum from the A string downward. Okay? So just like that. And this is gonna be a nice full strum. Again, listen to the tune, very percussive here. Down, down, up, down, up. Okay? The gist, something like that. Again, listen to the vibe of the tune. All right, so from the F sharp minor, here we go. Repeat. Okay, again, listen to the tune so you can really get the context, because it's getting bigger and the song is really bubbling and the dynamics are getting bigger. So I really, really suggest that you listen to this one, particularly this section of the tune, to really get the whole thing. All right, so here we go from the top of that sax solo. Here we go. Now from there, really fun section here. Okay, we're doing this really beautiful walk up and then back down, all right? The shapes are very friendly. So let's talk about them. So we're gonna get our second finger again. Pretend like you're playing an A7 chord. Now bring your second finger all the way up to the fourth fret of that D string. First finger goes down, third fret of the B string. Should sound like this. Okay, so far we have. Now we're gonna move this up one more, bring that second finger up to the fifth fret of that D string. Third finger goes down, fifth fret of the B string, B as in boy. Great stuff, right? So let's go ahead and just do the ascending part, and then we'll do the descending part in a moment. So here we go. Just as whole notes here so we can hear it. Let's do that again. Now with a little strumming, again, nice and loose, feel the vibe. Now we're gonna start to go backwards, okay? We're descending here. Bring that first finger to the third fret of the B string, second finger, fourth fret of the D string. Down, 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 up. To that A7 shape, down, 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 up. Okay? Nice and slowly here. Here we go. We're gonna do the whole thing. Here we go. So in the tune, that happens 3 times, okay? And with a little speed, sounds like this. 2. And 3rd time. Okay, so once we're here, right, where we've got our first finger on the 3rd fret and our second finger on the 4th fret, we're going to go right into the verse, and you're going to play that D chord, all right? So with context, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play the entire saxophone solo, all right? And then from there, go straight to a verse. So the saxophone solo section, oof, that's another, say that 10 times fast, is repeated twice. Okay, so here we go. Saxophone section, here we go. Walk up and descending. One more time. So now from there, so that is repeated once, okay? We only play that one time. From there, we're going to go to that B minor to the E sus4, recognize it? Walk up. To a C chord, to a G chord. And then guess what? That part was so cool, we're going to do it again. So that second half of the verse we see in the second half of the saxophone solo, all right? So here we go, from the top, here is the entire saxophone solo, and then after this, we're going to get to the really good part, all right? So again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. If you have not checked out my new EP at The Voices, I highly encourage that you do. Would love it if you gave it a listen. All right, so good stuff. So here we go. Here's the entire saxophone solo. First walk up. Two more times. Now to that B minor. Another 3 times for this part. Okay, so that gets repeated. However, once we get to this part, we're not going to resolve. So in the 3rd pass, we're going to stay there, and then we do this. Probably the most iconic part of the song. So that part. Now, that happens there. So what's really cool about this is I'm going to play that chord riff because there's something else that happens after that that is quite beautiful. All right, so that sounds like this, the whole like chord riff section. that suspension there. It's kind of neat. Heard that on the original recording as well as some of the live versions. So, as you can tell with this chord riff, it's the same shape. It's that D major shape that we're bringing up. Now, do these chords have names? You better believe it. What we're doing here is we're playing a D chord, and that's 3 strums. I like to do it as a down, up, down. Now we're gonna move this shape up, okay? Your first finger and your second finger should be on the 7th fret of the G string and high E string, and your third finger should be on the 8th fret of that B string. This is a G chord. However, we are going to include this open D string, which would technically make these chords a G over D and an A over D. And then we bring that shape up a whole step because remember, G and A are a whole step apart. Okay, so that's what those chords should sound like. So we've got 1, 2, 3, bring that up to the G over D, 1, 2, 3, and then bring that up to the A over D, 1, 2, 3. So let's just do that there without the commentary. Let's do that again. From there, only strike the G over D 1 time. And then go back to this D chord, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to play this again without the commentary. So here we go. Now, I will say this. I'll say this after we run it through again. Okay, so here we go from the top. Again. One more time. Now, if you're playing on a 6th string, this is something I put in my notes here. If you're playing this on a 6th string, that's how I want you to do it. However, when I was watching live versions of this, I noticed he played it this way. They are both, that's an A triad too. So this has, so I'll show you how to play it here. I'm just so excited about it. We have A here, 5th fret of the E string. We have an E here, 5th fret of the B string. And we have a C sharp, 6th fret of the G string. And you want to pinch too. Notice how you can't see my thumb, okay? Pinch through the thumb. And then G, you're just going to bring that whole step back. And don't forget to include that open D string there too. So these are just other inversions of this. They're the same chords, same notes, just the notes are in a different order. When this is played on a 12 string, it's going to have those textures of those higher notes. So if you have a 12 string, play that section this way. If you're like me and you got a 6th string, play this section this way. Again, something I wanted to mention, kind of cool, wanted to talk about it. Okay, so after that part, we're going to go into this. So cool, okay? So this chord here, I love, and any opportunity that I can use this inversion of this chord, I do. This is a C chord, check it out. So again, C, E, and G. That's the 1, 3, 5 of the C major chord. You always like to, you guys know I like to throw in a little theory when I can. So first finger is on that G note, 3rd fret of the E string. You're gonna get your second finger here, 5th fret of the G string. There's your root of C, and then you have your E here, playing it with your pinky on the 5th fret of the B string. Now, play that open D string too. So this is a C over D. Now, if we just wanted the C triad, just play the 3 notes that your fingers are on. and now we include that open D string. And we're just gonna strum this again. I want you to listen to the tune. That's what I'm hearing there on the tune. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, is what I'm hearing. From there, we're gonna go to a G over D. So we're gonna see this triad shape. Yet again, first finger, okay, place it across the 3rd fret of the B string and the high E string, G and D respectively, okay? And then your B note here, 4th fret of the G string, okay? From there, open D string 2. So this is a G over D. Got the D in the bass. And we're just gonna play it down, up. That's it. And then to the D chord. And you can throw in that D sus4. All the D sus4 is, you're gonna play the D chord like that, and that 4th finger is gonna go on the 3rd fret of that E string, which is a G. Great, another great. If anyone knows what chord opens that, or at least it's one of the chords that opens a song, put that in the comments too. So we've got C over D, to G over D, to that D with the D sus4s in there too. So here's the whole thing. Yes, I agree, Jeff. Very yes-ish. I gotta teach some yes. I love that band. I gotta do that. You reminded me, Jeff. I gotta do that. So here we go. From the top, we're gonna do the 6-string guitar version of that chord riff. And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, folks, be sure to subscribe to the channel, tell a friend. Those of you I saw in Nashville who came to the shows, thank you so much. It was absolutely wonderful meeting all of you. I saw that there was a gentleman who said he bought tickets and he couldn't make it to the show. I'm so bummed, but we'll be back there very soon. I'll be announcing that soon. We'll be there before the end of the year, so don't worry. Those of you who live in Nashville, we will be back before the end of the year. All right, so let's go ahead and do that chord riff. We're gonna do the six-string version from the very top. Now, so they do that a couple times. Again, listen to the tune. And it's only a 4-minute and 3-second song, I think. So that's what's happening there, okay? And repeats, repeats, repeats. Super fun to play. Love me some good inversions. Now, we get to the outro. And this, to the best of my ear, is what's happening. All right, so here's what I'm thinking that the outro is. So that's what I think is happening there. Let's go ahead and look at it. So we got the C over, this C add 9, but I noticed that E string is open. It's very cool. So how we play that chord, you're gonna get your first finger, placing that on the 2nd fret of the D string, that's your E note, your 3rd finger, second finger, we're live, it happens, 2nd finger, 3rd fret of the A string, that's a C note, okay? Get your 3rd finger, placing that on the D note on the 3rd fret of the B string. So just like that. Just like that. Okay? And you're gonna, again, just strum this. What I think the pattern is there, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. From there, we're gonna go to a G over B. All we're gonna do, move that first finger to the 2nd fret of that A string. That's your B note. Have that open E string ring too, why not? Same strumming pattern. We're gonna go to an A7, 2 beats there. An A minor 7 rather, A minor 7. So think of it this way, it's an A minor chord, lift that 3rd finger out of the way. So we can play that G note, which is the flat 7. So we have the 1 of A, the minor 3, which is C, and then the E, which is the 5, and then the G, which is the flat 7. Okay? And then from there, we're going to go back to G over B to an A7 sus4, one of my favorite chords. All we're going to do here, okay, keep that third finger where it is on that D note. We're going to get our first finger placing that on the second fret of the D string, which is an E, and strum from the A string downward. And then we go to our chord riff. Okay, but let's go through that outro a couple times before we look at that. All right, so here we go. I'll play it a little bit slower. Here we go. G over B, A minor 7, G over B, A7 sus4. Okay, I'll do that again without the commentary. There, if we go to the D chord, so we can get a little resolution. Okay, let's do that again. And then we go into that chord riff, those beautiful inversions of that G and that A chord. So once we do that, we're going to play a D chord all the way up a whole octave. So it'll sound like this. And here's how we do that. Same shape, we're just bringing that shape up 12 frets, you guys. So your first finger should be on the 14th fret of the G string. Your second finger should be on the 14th fret of the high E string, F sharp, and then your D note here, 15th fret of the B string. An open D string too, because this is it's a D chord, just up 12 frets. Okay, so in context, here is the outro. Great. Such a great song. Such a great song. Really, really fun one. I thought it would be a great one to teach. So that's the tune. Those are all the parts. Again, these lessons are up on my YouTube channel if you want to go and rewind. And I know a lot of you do the thing where you can like slow me down, so it's like really, really slow, which is fantastic. Again, as I mention all the time in these lessons, we can't play anything fast. We can't play slow. Enjoy the journey of being a musician and learning the song. That's my favorite part, is when I'm learning a song. It is so much fun because you're like, oh gosh, like it might be something you didn't think you can do. And when you really practice and you're really focused and you do it, it's just like such a gratifying feeling. So, and I get messages from you guys like that all the time, that these lessons are helping you just be a better musician, and that just makes me so happy. These lessons are me, you know, paying it forward, and it is absolutely lovely to do these lessons. I really do enjoy it a lot. I enjoy being a guitar mentor. I don't like to call myself a teacher, but definitely a mentor, and I'm so thankful these lessons are helping you guys. So that makes me really happy. Again, if you haven't checked out my new EP, The Voices, be sure to do that. We are so proud of it. Again, those of you who came out to our Nashville shows, it was so awesome to meet all of you. So thanks again for the support. Really appreciate it. Also, go to my website, AngelaPetrillimusic.com. Finally launched my online store. You want t-shirts and all that good stuff. T-shirts, sweaters, hats, mugs, all that stuff is there. Would love it if you did. And yeah, support indie musicians like me. It's good stuff. Again, want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me run these lessons week after week. They're good people. They're really good people. And yeah, if you want to check out all the cool gear that I use from Fishman in these lessons, be sure to click the link in the video description. Thank you all so much. Continue to be kind to one another. Those of you who are in the US, happy 4th of July. I can't believe it's already July. This is just absolutely insane. So crazy. Time flies, folks. So make the best of your time by being kind to one another and playing lots of music. So everybody take care. Again, wishing you so much success in your musical journeys. Thanks for being cool to one another on these chats. I love how wonderful and kind everyone is. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being really nice people. Really appreciate that. Okay, I am off to a gig. Everybody take good care. Thanks again. Subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. I'll see you next week.